And Richard Southern joins us now from the 680 News Business Center. Hello, Richard, and happy Thanksgiving long weekend.
The same to you, Cynthia. You have some lovely Thanksgiving fall colors on today. You look great today.
I kind of do. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
As you do every day, Cynthia.
Aw, you're too... What do you want? You're too kind.
I'm into the Thanksgiving wine early, maybe, Cynthia.
Oh, maybe. All right. Let's start with some hard numbers. Canada's unemployment rate dropped last month, and at least one government is lining up to take credit for it.
Absolutely. 54,000 jobs created in September, according to Stats Canada, Cynthia. Way more than expected. The unemployment rate down to 5.5%. Ontario led the way. 41,000, mostly full-time jobs created here in the province. And yes, taking credit for it is the Ford government. They said their reduction to WSIB premiums and the freezing of the minimum wage at $14 an hour is the reasons why. But you'll know this, Cynthia, the Premier, how long has he been saying the job-killing carbon tax?
Oh, for as long as I can think of him being a leader of the Conservative Party.
Correct. So we asked Donna Skelly today, the assistant to the Minister of Job Creation, if that was a mistake to call it that.
Well, it certainly isn't a job creator. I can tell you that... It must be, though.
There's been 270,000 jobs created since you took office. You just pointed that out.
I would say that it has not contributed to job growth, and I think to suggest that would be disingenuous.
Was it a mistake to call it a job-killing carbon tax? Because clearly it hasn't been.
No, not at all, because it is a job-killing carbon tax.
So she's doubling down on that, saying, you know, it is still a job-killing carbon tax, but maybe they're going to back away from that sort of line, I think, Cynthia.
Well, we'll see. I'm not so sure about that. They're pretty dead set against the carbon tax.
Yeah.
All right, so Thanksgiving is here, as we mentioned, and that means plenty of people will be rushing out to pick up some adult beverages, Richard.
Yes, indeed. And a handful of beer stores will be open on holiday Monday. 4 of them in Scarborough, 2 in Toronto proper, 3 in York region. We'll get this all on citynews.ca. LCBOs won't be open on Monday. But speaking of the Ford government, you'll also know this, of course, Cynthia. They've long promised to bring beer and wine to corner and convenience stores.
Yes.
And so with another long weekend here, Sid, I asked Rod Phillips, the finance minister, if we're going to see that. Take a look. Minister, there's a long weekend coming up. Will I be able to buy beer in a corner store this long weekend for Thanksgiving, sir?
Well, you will be able to buy if you were in Ajax at several grocery stores. But I think you're asking a question about our discussions, yeah. And obviously we continue to work with the stakeholders on that.
Is that going to happen?
We've been clear about the fact that we want to see more choice for consumers. But it's just one of the many priorities that we have, and certainly when there's news to report on that, I'll make sure that
there's no timeline on that, Minister.
You know, it's one of the many priorities we have, but there's many other things we're focused on.
They don't sound as urgent about that as they once did, do they?
Well, it's that pesky beer store contract that they have to rip up to get the beer in the corner stores that could end up costing $1 billion to break. So that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of alcohol, one company is rethinking the beer bottle, minus the glass, Richard.
Yeah, and we're looking at it. This is Nate Carlsberg developing a paper bottle, Cynthia, made from wood fibers, wood pulp, which apparently is much more sustainable than your aluminum or your glass. The Danish brewer says it is indeed fully recyclable, and they're looking to come out with 2 different prototypes here. Carlsberg, of course, just one of many international firms looking to change the way it packages its goods. Earlier this week, we heard from Unilever, the consumer goods giant, about how it plans to cut its plastic use in half in just the next 5 years. So there you go, paper beer bottles, Cynthia.
Incredible. I mean, I like this idea if it works and if it's more sustainable and helps the environment.
Yes, and maybe less glass to sweep up, too, if you've had too many. So that could be a good thing.
All right, Richard. So the long weekend's here. Usually that means gas prices are going up. What's going on with that?
Right you are. Although it's not too bad. We're going up a penny tonight, just shy of $1.19, Cynthia. So have a great long weekend.
All right. I hope you have lots of turkey, Richard. Have a great one.
Thanks, Sid.